You walk into the room and the shift happens automatically. The posture straightens, the smile locks into place, the vocal register raises just a fraction. You are instantly the warmest, most engaging person in the room. People gravitate toward you because your energy feels like a magnetic field. You ask the right questions, you laugh at the right times, and you effortlessly bridge the awkward silences. To the outside world, you are the life of the party. You are the ultimate extrovert. But inside, behind the charming eyes and the quick wit, you are watching a battery meter rapidly drain towards zero. This is the hidden reality of the performative extrovert. It is a psychological paradox wrapped in a very convincing social script. People assume that because you are highly skilled at socializing, you must draw power from it. They consistently confuse your capability with your capacity. True extroversion is a biological mechanism where social interaction replenishes the dopamine and oxytocin reserves in the brain. It is a neurological feeding mechanism. But for you, socializing is a massive expenditure. It is an incredibly expensive performance funded by a limited reserve of cognitive energy. You do not absorb the energy of the room, you manufacture it, you distribute it, and then you pay the neurological bill when everyone else goes home. Your brain was not designed to be on 24/7, yet the birth lottery handed you a script you never asked to play. Somewhere in your formative years, you learned that being high energy kept you safe. Maybe it diffused tension in a volatile household, maybe it was the only way to secure attention, validation, or peace. The performance became a survival mechanism. You were rewarded for being the easy one, the one who never brought down the vibe. Your nervous system adapted to this powerful reward loop. It wired itself to prioritize the emotional comfort of others over your own biological need for rest. Maintaining this high-energy facade creates a cognitive load so heavy it eventually fractures the true self. Let us map the hidden biology of this performance. When you enter a social space, your prefrontal cortex goes into overdrive. You are not just hanging out, you are continuously running a highly complex algorithm. You are scanning microexpressions, adjusting your tone, modulating your body language, and anticipating the emotional needs of every single person around you. You're acting as a human thermostat, constantly regulating the temperature of the room so no one else has to feel uncomfortable. This constant monitoring requires an immense amount of executive function. It floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline because your deep brain perceives the potential of social awkwardness or collective disappointment as a high-stakes threat. You are essentially trapped in a socially acceptable fight or flight response. The charisma is a shield, the humor is a distraction. The boundless energy you project is just anxiety wearing a very convincing smile. And then comes the crash. The event ends, you get into your car, close the heavy door, and the sudden silence hits you with the physical force of a concrete wall. The facade drops instantly. The facial muscles literally go slack. This is the social hangover, and it is brutal. It is a profound, aching depletion that cannot be fixed by just taking a nap. Your nervous system is completely frayed. Your brain is desperately trying to clear out the biochemical waste products generated by hours of hyperarousal. You sit in the dark, staring at the steering wheel, completely devoid of thought or emotion. For those 20 minutes in the driveway, you are a ghost haunting your own body. The most dangerous part of being a performative extrovert is not the physical exhaustion, it's the silent identity crisis that hollows you out over the years. When your entire personality is built around being exactly what other people need, the true self slowly starves in the dark. You become a master social chameleon, but you gradually forget what your original colors look like. You start to resent the very people you are performing for, even the ones you love. You feel profoundly lonely in a crowded room because you know they are not actually connecting with you. They're connecting with a highly curated avatar you created specifically to entertain them. The fear of dropping this mask is entirely paralyzing. You are terrified that if you show up as your true, quiet, easily depleted self, people will think you are angry, depressed, or broken. They will ask what is wrong. They will demand the immediate return of the energetic avatar they have grown so accustomed to consuming. The expectation of your charisma becomes a prison. You realize with a sinking feeling that the people who like you because you are fun are inadvertently pushing aside the person you actually are. You are loved for the performance, which leaves you feeling fundamentally unlovable in your silence. Breaking this cycle requires a radical and deeply uncomfortable rebellion. It requires you to stop optimizing for everyone else's comfort at the expense of your own psychological sanity. You have to recognize that your energy is a finite currency. For years, you have been handing it out to anyone who asks, leaving your own accounts completely bankrupt. Healing the performative extrovert means learning the terrifying art of disappointing people. It means going to the dinner party and allowing yourself to just be tired. It means letting a conversation die a natural death without rushing in to resuscitate it with a clever joke. It means sitting in the awkward silence and flatly refusing to be the one to fill it. It means accepting that your quietness is not a failure and your boundaries are not an insult to the people around you. Your true friends will not require a performance. They will not demand that you set yourself on fire just to keep them warm. They will be relieved to finally meet the quiet, complex person behind the act. The brain that was forced into a lifetime of hyperarousal can eventually learn to step off the stage. The crushing exhaustion will slowly lift when you finally internalize one profound truth. You do not have to earn your place in the room by entertaining it. You are allowed to just exist, quietly, heavily, and authentically, without ever putting on a show.